Away from the poultry sheds that are the focus of the UK's worst ever bird flu outbreak, wardens at the RSPB's Minsmere Reserve have been witnessing the insidious toll on wildlife.
We've seen quite a few unwell barnacle geese. We've got one dead barnacle goose in the ditch right in front and on the island behind.
A few days ago they got the news they feared but expected. These geese were infected with highly pathogenic H5N1 bird flu. As we filmed, a magpie came to feed on one of the carcasses, the potential for spread from wild birds to others clear to see.
Where we are at Minsmere, we know we have lots of neighbours who are in the poultry business, whether that's big companies or small farmers with a few turkeys and geese, and they're all incredibly worried.
Is this a tension that wildlife can afford right now?
Certainly the answer is not to blame the wild birds. We know this disease came out of intensive poultry production, and it would be just crazy to say that it's the wild bird's fault.
It's now clear that this highly pathogenic strain of bird flu is now permanently present, endemic in our wildlife. And that changes everything and means it's a disease that we can no longer afford to ignore. Can culling of poultry flocks remain an ethical or sustainable way to control the virus? And while bird flu is currently low risk to us, it's closely related to human flu.
I'm very surprised that, given the recent history of COVID-19, that we are so complacent about this virus, which is spreading more and more widely across the world, infecting poultry farms and thereby having a lot of contact with humans, and yet we don't seem to be worried about it.
UK authorities have shifted up a gear. The Animal and Plant Health Agency is leading a consortium to address the bird flu challenge, including potential risk to people.
There's an awful lot of work going on in that interface looking at risk for humans. Indeed, there have been one or two cases, but they've been very mild infections. This is an avian virus that really wants to be in a bird host rather than a mammal host. But we need to track that. We need to be watchful.
They're working on how bird flu has changed and developing better vaccines for poultry. But nothing can help those in the wild, except perhaps acknowledgement that the way we farm has consequences. Tom Clark, Sky News, Suffolk.